Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be reading all of the new releases of April.
It's so good.
April is such a huge new release month. I get so excited for April every year just because I know all of my favorite authors pretty much are going to be releasing a book. So all the books that I'm excited for in April are Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, Fearless, which is the third book in the Powerless trilogy, Wild and Wrangled, which is the last book in the Rebel Blue series, Great Big Beautiful Life, which is Emily Henry's new release of the year. I have Destructively Mine, which is the second book in the Webs We Weave. I don't know if it's a series, I don't know what they're doing with that, but it's by Krista and Becca Ritchie, the authors of the Addicted series. So those are all the books that I'm looking forward to this month. I don't know if we're going to read all of them in this video, but hopefully we can read a couple of them and see how many fives. I anticipate that most of these books, if not at least 2 or 3 of them, will be 5 stars. I have such high expectations for these books, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, because high expectations, if they don't meet them, like, whatever. I'm so excited for these books. But the first book that we are starting off with for this video is none other than Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I am so excited for this book. It's the first book in a new series she's writing, but you did see a glimpse of one of the female main character of this book in Just for the Summer, which was her release last year. So pretty much this book follows Samantha and Xavier. Xavier is a veterinarian and he is a very grumpy but kind person. And then you have Samantha, who does social media for a mustard company, which is really funny. But she ends up going into this veterinarian office with this kitten one day, and she meets him. They get off to a weird start, and she ends up coming back later, and they go out on this date with each other, and it ends up being this amazing, magical, wonderful date. And at the end of it, she tells him to forget her because she is moving back home to California to take care of her mother, who has dementia. So now they're both kind of thinking back to this amazing night that they had together, and so he flies out to go see her, and they have another amazing weekend. And now they're kind of realizing that it's not really possible for them to be together because they live in 2 completely different states. Financially, they can't support long distance, and yeah. So I'm very intrigued to see where this goes. From the beginning, this book had me. Also, mind you, this cover is literally so stunning. I picked it up and I was like, this is gorgeous. Stunning. But anyway. But yeah, I'm having a really good time. From the second I picked it up, I haven't really been able to put it down. I'm enjoying every second of this book. I love both of the main characters. Xavier is such a sweet, kind, and comforting man, and he is the total balance to what Samantha needs, because she is very much more on the chaotic side. She is on the more adventurous side, and he is there to kind of level her out. And while she is panicking, he's there to settle her, and that's one thing about Abby Jimenez. Her characters will always, you will always feel how meant to be they are. Like, they're always just so perfect for each other. I love it. And her writing is just, it's so good. It's another one of those cases where it's like, how does an author write a feeling that I could never explain, but I feel so deeply? You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm having a great time. I'm so excited. This feels like Christmas. All these new releases are gonna feel like Christmas Day. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm back with an update on Say You'll Remember Me, and I'm having such a good time with this book. I love these characters. I love their chemistry, their relationship, their banter, their wit together is all of it. It's just so good. I'm absolutely adoring them. I started underlining, and so you always know that has to be a good sign when reading a book. There's one quote in here that was just so good. I literally loved it. Just the message behind this book so far is just so beautiful. It's pretty much based around like making memories and core memories and the people that are in your life. And hold on, I'll just let me read this and it'll explain a little bit better. She's talking to him about what she wants out of her life. And so she says, you know what I realized through all of this? That there is nothing more beautiful than being a witness to someone's life. To know them inside out and be with them through everything. Share the same memories. Memories are everything. I want that. A witness to your life? Yeah. I want someone who knows everything there is to know about me. I want to know everything about them. I want to be able to say one out of context comment to someone and do they get what it means and they laugh. And it's just a stupid joke from like 11 years ago that means nothing to anyone else. And I felt that. It's just, it's a wild concept to think about all the people that are in your life and imagining your life without certain people. Like me and my niece grew up together. We have basically never spent any amount of time without each other. So to imagine my life without her is such a wild thing. Same thing with my best friend. We've been friends for so long, like over 10 years. And so this other quote really clocks into that. And it says, you can't fake that kind of thing. It's the result of a parallel life. A shared connection of experiences like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger as it goes. And then you get to a point where you're so far in and you could never replace that person. Not really. No one else can ever be that same kind of witness because you've lived through so much. It's a once in a lifetime kind of thing. And that is just so... it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's one of those things. She's explaining how I feel about something that I could never put into words myself. And it's just beautiful. Also, just the way that these two love each other is crazy. The way that they speak about each other, the way that they speak about their connection, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is a real once in a lifetime opportunity. And seeing them work through how they're going to make this relationship work, since they live in two different places and there's obstacles in the way of them being able to fully be with each other. I'm obsessed. And them just knowing that they can't live without each other. It's so good. It's so good. I'm having an amazing time. But yeah, I'm wondering what the third act conflict is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be great, and it's not going to be one that pisses me off. Because I feel like her third act breakups or third act conflicts are always very well structured and well planned out. So, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Oh my god, there's no way. This is how you know this man is not real. Oh my god. He says to her, because if you're my wife, you would be my world. Everything starts with you and ends with you. Anything else is just the stuff that happens in the middle. No, yeah. No, yeah. Good night. I gotta go. Alright, so I just got off of work and now we are at Barnes because today is April 8th, which means Fearless by Lauren Roberts comes out today. So we're gonna run in and grab that. Even though I am not done with Say You'll Remember Me, I will be finishing that book today. So I need to be prepared to start my next book, which is, of course, Fearless. So let's go get it. Y'all, she thick. I'm so excited. Oh my god. For the past however long since the other one came out, I have been just avoiding even thinking about this series because of how excited I was for this book. I feel like Reckless was okay. It was a good book. It just wasn't... I don't know, something about it. Everybody said that it was more of like a filler book, which I understand. So the fact that this is the last book in this series, I'm terrified to see what happens. Anyway, let's go home and finish Say You'll Remember Me so we can start reading Fearless. Alright, I did just finish Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and I had a good time with this book, but I feel like nothing happened, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. Like, I don't think that anything, like, nothing happened. But, like, their romance was fantastic. I loved their chemistry. The way the yearning was immaculate. Just the feelings, reading the feelings that these two have for each other. Beautiful. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But the actual plot of the book, it was alright. It was fine. I don't know. So I don't really know what I'm gonna rate this book. The meaningful things and the emotions were hitting, and I really enjoyed them. It's just the plot wasn't plotting for me. So I don't really know where to put that. But I think, with that being said, I almost called it Powerless. Do I start Fearless? What's it called? Do I start Fearless now? Or do I... That might just answer my question. Or do I wait for tomorrow to start it? I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna rate this book. Maybe like a 4-star. I think maybe a 4-star. Alright, so I did start reading Reckless. And Reckless, this ain't Reckless. This is Fearless, right? Yeah, this is Fearless. And I did start it. I am only like 65 pages in. But there's nothing like being reunited with your book boyfriend. I was sitting here and I'm reading. There's this scene and Kai and Peyton are doing their thing. Their banter's going. And she says to him, "Don't make promises you can't keep." He says, "It's not promises I care to keep. It's you." And then it says, "His words never fail to have my stomach flipping, heart fluttering, lips falling silent. So I flick the tip of his nose with a soft, 'You're quite the poet, Prince.' Moonlight pools in the dimple that accompanies his grin. And you, the muse, darling. Kai Azar. Like, there's nobody like him. Like, there's something so special about that man. Oh my god, I love him. I love him. The banter. Something about being reunited with a book boyfriend. There's nothing like it. Anyway, so far, okay, we're doing it. We're hopping straight in to the chaos of what's going on. So just in case you don't know, this is Fearless. This is the third book in the Powerless trilogy. I really enjoyed Powerless and Powerful, the novella. I do have a reading vlog of me reading Reckless, and at the end of it, I was so like hyped about the book that I ended up rating it 5 stars. But the more I think about it and the longer I've sat on that book, I really did not enjoy it that much. At least not as much as I thought I did. I feel like I was real excited about the banter, the love confession, and things of that nature in that book that clouded my view on the plot, which there wasn't much of. So going into this, I am very excited. This book is very thick, so I'm intrigued to see what could happen. I'm so excited. I'm hoping that I enjoy it, if we're being so honest, because I don't know, I don't want this to like fall off. Anyway, I'm not really far enough in to really give much, but I just had to say the banter is bantering, and that is one thing that Lauren Roberts definitely knows how to do well, and it is the highlight of every single book that she has written. And I think that was one of the reasons why I rated Reckless so highly, was because of the banter. The banter still ate. And honestly, as long as the banter is eating, I'm gonna enjoy the book. So anyway, I just needed to say that. I needed to let you know that I did officially start this book, but I'm enjoying seeing Kai and Peyton and their banter and the outcome so far of what happened in the last book. I hate when my timer goes off, because that means I have to go to work. I didn't even get to finish the chapter. Alrighty, so I am like 50% of the way through Fearless, and we've had some obstacles to face while reading this book. The other day I was going to work and I ended up spilling like half of my water bottle on the book. So the end of the book is all crinkled and waterlogged. So that should be interesting once I get there. But I think the actual writing itself is fine. I just really was not having a good day that day. And that was the beginning. So far, I'm enjoying the book. I am enjoying seeing Peyton and Kai together. This series this trilogy is a very high stakes fantasy series. So if you are looking for high stakes, this is definitely it. If you like trials and things of that nature, enemies to lovers always, of course, with Kai and Peyton, this series is definitely for you. I will say, how do I explain this? Right now, we are kind of going back to the roots of this story within the fact of like trials and high stakes events that are taking place in this book, which I'm really enjoying so far. So in this series, there are different places within where they live that you get to see. You hit all the places within the trilogy I believe Lauren Roberts has publicly said multiple times. So one of the places is the shallows, and which is the ocean. And one thing about me, petrified, terrified of the ocean, I have a huge phobia of sharks. They're literally one of my biggest fears ever. And so something that's taking place in this book is that they're out in the ocean and there's a creature in the ocean, and I'm terrified. I'm scared that there's going to be a shark and that I'm going to have to like flip some pages because I'm quite literally horrified of them. But so far, so good. I'm hoping it's like a giant octopus that's the creature in the ocean or something. I don't know. I was gonna say, let's see if we even see it. We're gonna see it. If they mentioned it, we're gonna see it. So that should be interesting. Also, in this book, you get another POV of somebody that I did not expect to get a POV from at all during the series, which I can tell is setting up for something for the ending. And I think I've predicted what this thing is, or what they're trying, or what she's trying to set up to be like this big grand reveal, I fear. If so, I don't know how they're gonna make that make sense. Like, I kind of have the pieces together in my head, but I'm wondering how they're gonna make that make sense. But besides that, I'm having a great time. Besides what I've predicted, I don't know what that is going to do to impact the rest of the story. So I kind of don't really have many expectations for what this is going to be. I just hope that it is a good ending to this story. So, with that being said, I will come back with some updates when I have some. My plan is to read like a very huge chunk of this book today because I need to finish this book. I need to go start a new release, and I can't do that until this is done. So it is a beautiful day. It's quite literally going to be 80 degrees today, and I'm so excited. Like last week it was like cold and rainy, and now it is sunny and 80 degrees. Thank you, New Jersey. This is a treat. And so I think we're gonna go sit outside, read a little bit, and then keep reading until the book is done because I need to finish it. Maybe we'll go to Barnes and get our new release because I've been dying to get it, and I feel like driving today would be a really good time. Also because I probably can't get it tomorrow because tomorrow's Easter, so I need to go get it today. We're gonna read and then I'll go to Barnes.
Sir, what are you doing?
They're doing construction over there, so I'm sorry if you hear that. My prediction is making more sense with the more information that they're giving me. So I'm assuming that I'm correct, which is going to be an interesting turn of events at the ending, I think. I can see this ending unfolding, kind of, which I don't know if is a good thing or a bad thing. But, like, it makes sense. But it only makes sense within this book. Like, I feel like this wasn't a planned thing. Like, I feel like I don't remember there being any breadcrumbs or any traces of this in the other books. I would have to go back and reread to see if that's accurate. But I feel like this is like something that was for this book, if that makes sense. Because now I'm like, oh. I mean, I guess. But who's to say? Not me. Anyway. Alright, friends, so I did end up finishing no, not the right book, Fearless by Lauren Roberts last night. I ended up having to listen to this book because once I came to the realization of what was going to happen in the book, I kind of got a little bit defeated and kind of fell out of the story a little bit because I could see the whole rest of the book playing out already. So I ended up just like doing other stuff while I listened to the book and stayed up until 3 a.m. listening to it. And pretty much my theory was correct for the most part. Some things were a little bit off, but that didn't impact the ending of the story. Overall, what I assumed was gonna happen happened. There were some kind of surprising things towards the end that I didn't necessarily expect, but overall the general ending was exactly what I predicted, and I predicted it so early on in the book that I was just kind of like, alright, whatever. Doesn't mean that I didn't like the ending. It was okay, I enjoyed it. I still love these characters so much. Like, I don't know if this was an obvious thing for other people. I feel like it was very obvious, but I could be wrong. But if it was that obvious, like, I feel like that's a little not the best. But either way, I ended up giving this book a 3-star just because I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the characters. I will always remember it and probably think about this story, but not necessarily the way that I wanted it to play out in terms of me figuring out the ending before it actually ended. I still would recommend the series. I just particularly enjoy the first book and Powerful, the novella, more than I enjoyed the rest of the series. I've been hearing people say that this could have been a duology, and I completely agree. I feel like Reckless could have been a little bit shorter than what it was, and it could have been divided and made into one book, I think. So, with that being said, it is now time to start our next book. And that book, of course, is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This is the 4th and final book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I'm very excited about this book. We have seen both of these characters in the other books, and from what I've seen so far between the two of them, I think I'm gonna enjoy this. I enjoyed all the other books in the series. I do think that Done and Dusted was my favorite. I feel like I related to the female main character of that book more than I related to the other books, especially because she deals with ADHD, and I was diagnosed later in life with ADHD, and so I saw a lot of myself in her. But I'm very excited to read this book. I think it's like the one, what does it say? She's the one that got away, he's the one that never let go. One thing about me, I love the one that got away. Those types of books, that trope always gets me. So I'm very excited. And let's start reading. This should be a quick, fun read. So. Alright, so I'm like 30% of the way into Wild and Wrangled. I'm on page 129, chapter 18. And so far, I am really, really into this book. It is a second chance romance, which I will always love a second chance romance. It doesn't even matter. I will love a second chance romance. So pretty much, this book follows Cam and Dusty, who we see in the other books. Cam is Gus's baby mama, and she is very good friends with the family, with the Ryder family. And also, Dusty is a ranch hand / ranch manager at Rebel Blue Ranch. And he and Dusty have a past. They dated when they were in high school, and they ended up breaking up for some reason that is still unknown. But now this is 15 years later from their relationship, and Cam was just left at the altar by her fiance, and so now she is moving out of his house, getting her own place, and trying to re-navigate her life. And turns out the house that she is now renting happens to be the same plot of land that Dusty is living on. So now they're neighbors, and we're going to see how they navigate that and see what comes of that and their friendship that they're re-sparking right now. Also, I'm enjoying that in this book she is giving you glimpses of the past of Dusty and Cam getting to know each other, and how you're starting to see how enamored they were with each other, and it's adding a lot to their current relationship, which I 100% appreciate. It kind of feels like Wild Love by Elsie Silver, where she has these diary entries that Rosie has about Ford and her feelings towards Ford at that time. We're kind of getting a similar vibe with how she's going back in time, going over these notes that Dusty was giving her and their interactions as a young couple and them growing up, or them meeting and their relationship forming. I appreciate that. I feel like it gives you a better insight on their characters and how deeply they truly know each other, and it's going to further drive the relationship. And that is always my favorite. Give me those crumbs, because it's just gonna make the story hit harder, and I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm having a great time. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so I did end up finishing Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage today, and I had a really good time with this book. I honestly did not know if I was going to like it more than the other books in the series, because I really did enjoy them, but I really liked this book. I would say that it's I would put it under Done and Dusted. I think Done and Dusted will remain my favorite of the series. But there was something about these two. I feel like it's the second chance romance, and the fact that you got to see a lot of their relationship when they were together the first time through the time jump, which was really helpful for their relationship. Feeling that connection. Also just the yearning that Dusty was describing and going through in this book was crazy. I loved it so much. I feel like this is falling. But yeah, I loved both of the characters. I didn't necessarily relate to them, but I definitely enjoyed them as our main characters. Overall, the only thing that I did not love about this book was the third act conflict, which I found was like a silly third act conflict. Like, I feel like it wasn't that big of a deal, but that could just be me. But it was resolved fairly quickly, so therefore it wasn't that big of a bump in the road. Therefore it was okay for me. Like, I didn't mind it that much. But definitely was not my favorite third act conflict. Overall, I don't have that many thoughts. This is just such a short, simple, sweet romance, cowboy romance, small town romance, whatever you want to say. But I had a really good time. I ended up giving this book a 4-star, which, what did I give the last book? What did I just read? Fearless. So, which I think is going to be our highest rated book of the video. I really was hoping that I was going to have a 5-star. I've only read one 5-star book this year, and it was Unravel Me from the Play for Keep series. But yeah, I did think that one of these was going to be a 5-star, and honestly, this had very strong potential to be a 5-star, but the third act conflict was not my favorite. So, to wrap up and conclude today's video, first we read Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, which I ended up giving a 3.5 star. I liked the relationship, didn't necessarily love the plot. I feel like not too much happened in this book, but the feelings and relationship I absolutely adored. Then we read Fearless by Lauren Roberts, which I enjoyed but was just a little bit too predictable for me. I don't know what happened there, but I enjoyed the ending. I love the characters of the story and always will. So I ended up giving this book a 3-star. And then, of course, Wild and Wrangled, which was a 4-star. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you want to come hang out with me again, hit the subscribe button down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.